Welcome to the Rockhound Podcast, episode 60. And we have a returning guest. Go ahead and take it away.
Hey everybody, Rockhounding Life here, Jason with Rockhounding Life, and I run a YouTube channel about rockhounding up here in Nova Scotia, Canada, with my three boys, Nolan, Travis, and Chase. And yeah, glad to be on again.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
Yeah, it's been a little bit, yeah.
Welcome back. It's so good to have you, and welcome all of you tuning in. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whichever applies for you. And if it's your first time tuning in, very warm welcome to you. Let us know where you're tuning in from in the comments and let us know what you're up to, and click that subscribe. We are so dangerously close to 1,000. I can taste it. So. Let's hoist us over that. Welcome back to you all that have been loyally coming back every week. Thank you so much. We love you. And I am Karen over in the Everwinter Oregon coast. And who are you this week?
This week, I am Ezekiel, the chosen Juan.
Yeah.
Welcome, Juan.
Residing in Montana. That can't make up its mind if it wants to be spring or if it's still winter.
Oh, it sounds like Oregon.
Yeah. Well, it was like 80 last week. This week it's been like overcast. Like the river actually came up, like started runoff, and it's back down again. So Montana doesn't know what it wants.
Oregon
ever.
skipped the 80 part. We just, yeah, we're just still on like drizzle and freezing. Yeah.
And I am Kyle with World of Rockhounds here in Oregon. And do you guys want to hear a quick joke?
Yeah.
No.
How do you tell the difference between how do you tell the difference in sex and an ant? Anyone? So if you put it in water, if it sinks, it's a girl ant. But if it floats, it's a boy ant.
Get it.
It really, like, I was going to get all nerdy about it. Like, well, technically.
I know.
If you see an ant, it's probably a drone, which means it's male. Sorry.
So here, okay. So really quickly, so here's what happened. Here's how I heard
That's why I just stayed quiet.
So I was on TikTok and I came across this joke and I didn't laugh at the joke. It's like, okay, that's kind of funny. It wasn't until I went to go repeat the joke to Amy that I just like died laughing because it was so bad, so punny, and yeah, and she just like looked at me like, wow. Oh,
that sounds like something my son Nolan would say. He's super into dad jokes right now, and some of them are really bad. But
well, it's especially good when they crack themselves up too. Like,
anyways,
nice.
Shout outs.
Yeah, last week on the Rockhound Podcast, it was the most amazing episode with fossils and shells and crystals and mind-blowing things. So unimaginable that you need to go back and check it out. It was Theo's Florida files, case files from Florida.
I was like, we could just change the name to that because I do it twice a year. So we could just have a Florida Files series.
Yeah.
At this point.
We should. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out after viewing this present podcast, of course. And Michelle Stenton sends her love from Ontario, Canada. And she thought that the Florida stories and adventures were spectacular, of course. Also, she apparently dug my words of wisdom and would like to see a blooper show. And I was just thinking, isn't every show a gaff show? I mean,
it kind of is, yeah.
I meant to add that your word of wisdom to this week's, to yesterday's, as just a little clip, and I forgot.
We could, we can compile. Like it'll be part of the compile. Okay, so Blind Squirrel Rock said that they were also laughing their hind end off. They didn't use that vernacular. It was something a little bit less that I should say. Claude from Kalgoorlie said it was the best Saturday entertainment Saturday because he's in Oz, so it's not Fridays, it's Saturdays for him, and was noting both Kyle and my halos. Apparently we both have halos. You're back to a ponytail though.
Oh.
It's a samurai bun.
Yes.
There we go.
Samurai
That's
Jack Kyle. Yeah.
better.
I think that.
And so he said it was perhaps an omen to pre-reaching our 1,000 Ks. Storm or Sandmaker was in the middle of some kind of crazy storm and not wanting to be blocked on both sides by a mudslide, so he went back into the casino and won cha-ching. So congrats, man.
Nice.
Yeah. Jody Brown was also getting hit by a massive storm, like all the way on the other side of the country in Walla Walla. And there was instantaneous lightning and thunder and 2 inches of standing water in the pasture. So hopefully she wasn't standing there with electric appliances or something.
Picture her in the middle of a pasture, just holding like a hair dryer or something.
Yeah, holding up a really
Yeah.
long golf club or something. Okay, so she's also complimenting us on it's a great end of the work week relaxation. So I guess we're part of people's kick their feet up on Friday nights. Thank you so much, guys. Lisa Largent thought the podcast was also hilarious, a perfect end to the week as well. Kyla Abiglin said that I said her name right, but I couldn't recall how I said her name last week. So I hope that was right again. She was also laughing through last week's podcast. Pedoge Designs found us downright silly and entertaining. Greek Explorers, great film, 3 pre-war, and y'all in the chat enjoyed it. And thanks for joining us now. And as we speak, as you're clicking away, and actually them's the shouts. On with it.
Thank you, Karen. Now, how is everyone weeks? We'll start with Jason, actually.
Yeah, it's well, I think I told you guys before we went on live, I'm super sick, man. Like it's been a rough couple weeks, not COVID related. It was like sinus. So, but we were able to get out a couple times and do some rock hounding. And this week's video, it just came out today, and it was actually good timing with the podcast. But I did so Kyle, one of the thunder eggs you sent me, I polished that, and it was one of those Buchanan thunder eggs.
Yeah.
And it was just sitting on my bench, and it was sitting there for like 6 months, and I just was starting to clean up, and I saw it there last week, and I looked at it, and I cut it already, and it was like just this beautiful, like looking specimen of a thunder egg, and I was like, man, why haven't I done anything with this yet? So I polished it, made a video, and it came out today. So yeah, I could show it now or later. It doesn't matter. I could show it right now if you want.
It's your show, Jason.
Yeah.
You get to do what you want.
It comes up. I don't know how good my camera's going to come up to show it, but
Ooh. Yeah, and it looks like you have like a mirror on that thing.
Yeah, it's pure shine. Yeah, I gave a little bit of a tutorial on how, like, I've been using this high-tech diamond flat lap for a while, and I got like my own little system that I use, and I just kind of showed it to everybody in the video, and hopefully if anyone has one of these things, it'll help them out. But this is how I usually polish flat rocks. I don't really do a lot of cabs, so you know, it's a little, I find it's a little bit different polishing cabs and flat rocks on the thing. So, but yeah, there's the camera doesn't do it justice, but there's some really wicked blues and grays in there, like it's in some waterline. But that's one half. The other half looks pretty much the same, but
it's still very beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll send some pics, and you can put them up on the screen right now.
Oh, how did he do that?
He's magic. Yeah.
He's a wizard.
Yeah, so that was my week. Just this weekend, you know, planning on actually cleaning my shop. It's really messy. It looks like a rock bomb went off in here. But
that sounds delightful.
I was gonna say that's what my shop looks like right now.
I love it.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, that sounds relatable. I think I've cleaned my shop twice in the last couple of weeks, just because I do a project and it's like everything just scattered.
It gets easy. It gets like mine gets so. I just do a project and I walk away, and it's just like everything's just left there for like a week, and then I go back in. I'm like, why haven't I cleaned this? And yeah.
Sounds about right.
I pick up where I left off and usually skip the clean part.
That's me. It just
accumulate.
depends on the schedule.
Yeah.
Like it was absolutely spotless in the shop. I was actually like thinking about finally doing a shop tour video, and then I went to Florida and came back and had to like organize a bunch of stuff and prep a bunch of those fossils, which made a ridiculous mess. I tried cleaning as I was going, but gosh, that matrix is so soft that it just spreads dust everywhere. And then I've been running a sale for the last like week, so I had to get a bunch of stuff out, and there's boxes and packing stuff, and yeah, it's a mess. We'll do cleaning on Monday. I'm putting it off for now. I don't want to do it right now.
You never said which Monday.
Like next year.
Yeah, Monday we will do it.
Yeah.
Some Monday.
Was that pretty much your? Oh, I'm gonna ask him right in the middle of taking a drink. Hey, Jason, was that pretty much your week?
Yeah, that was our week. My daughter's going for a driver's test on Saturday, so that's kind of exciting.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
So, yeah. That's our big excitement in our family for this week.
Nice. That sounds delightful.
It's a big milestone too.
Yeah, she's she turns 17 next week, so she did her driver's school and everything, and then you have to wait in Nova Scotia. You have to wait like 9 months after you get your learners. So she could have had it done a few months ago, but she's taking her time and she's learning the ways of the road and everything. So yeah.
Smart.
Oh yeah.
That is smart. That is definitely. Also, I don't believe that you have a 16-year-old daughter. You don't look a day over 20.
17.
Nice. Okay, what do you want?
I feel old, I'll tell you that.
It's just the sinus infection. You'll get over it.
Yeah, maybe. Hopefully. Seems like it's never ending.
Yeah, like the winter. Although you were saying that you had just like wicked nice weather, like hot temperatures.
It's like 85 degrees right now, and it's almost midnight.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Here right now.
That's insane.
But that's not normal. That's not normal for here. This is like we're in a little bit of a heat spell right now. So
yeah. What's your latitude?
Our latitude? I don't know exactly, but we're at the same latitude as Portland, Oregon.
Oh. So like I think they might be 45, am I right? Because we're 44. So
I think we're actually a little lower than Portland. We're a little lower than Portland.
You're probably 44, just like us.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But we're right on the Gulf Stream, so that we get a lot of warm water coming in on our shore, so it warms the temperature up a little bit. So it gives us really crazy winters, like it'll snow. Like last month, like exactly a month ago, there was snow on the ground here. So it's just crazy fluctuations in the weather here because of that Gulf Stream. But
I think it's crazy.
Like
I didn't know the Gulf Stream. Yeah. Montana's all freaking over the place. I didn't know the Gulf Stream went up that far. Because when we go to Florida,
it comes up. Yeah, it comes up to us, and then it shoots right over to England.
Oh wow, that's crazy! I did not know that. Because when we go deep sea fishing, we get on a boat and you you boat, I guess, swim. You boat swim. Your boat swims 75 miles offshore, and so that you're fishing inside of the Gulf Stream. That's where you catch all the good stuff.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Boat swim.
Your boat swims 65, it's like 75, 80 miles. I don't know what this. They're not driving. Maybe it's driving. I don't know. I'm just going to call it your boat swims from now on.
Okay. I'd love to see the captain's face when you tell him that.
Yeah.
Ezekiel, how was your week?
Yes. My week was good. Busy, but good. I mean, I feel like I say that every week. It's always busy. It's never not busy. But no, we had really nice weather the past like week or so. It's since changed the past like 2 days, but it felt like May was really coming in strong, and it's like high 70s, low 80s, and then I don't know where it's like 50s and raining again. But we went out on Tuesday, because I had a panic attack because I saw how much the river was coming up, and I was like, all right, if it keeps up at this pace, we've got like 1 week before I can't go rock hunting anymore. And so went out, had an absolutely insane day. Like we kept finding so much amazing stuff, and then next day the river was down down 2 more feet, was like, okay, I guess I may have jumped the gun there, but and today it's even lower, but I'm sure it'll change soon. And then I've been running a sale on my shop, which still is going. People at home, if you are interested in rocks or anything like that, just throwing it out there. I don't normally do that. It's still going. It ends Sunday night. And I've been packing a bunch of orders and stuff like that. And then stuff keeps selling, so I keep pulling stuff out and cutting and polishing and prepping stuff so I can keep adding more stuff, because I've never done a sale this long. Usually I do like a 24 to 72 hour sale, and this one I was like, I'm gonna do a week, whatever. So I'll just do a week. And yeah, it's been busy, very busy. And then our friends Montana Rock Mom got back from New Mexico and brought me some awesome rocks, one of which I will show during show and tell because it's crazy.
Nice.
She came over and hung out at the shop for a while today. But other than that, not a whole lot. I don't remember if I mentioned it last week or not, but me and Kate went out last week, got us some crazy stuff. Yeah, just trying to pack in as many river hunts as I physically can before the floodgate opens.
Sounds about right.
And that's pretty much my week.
Sweet.
Karen, I'll give you more reprieve since you did the shouts. First of all, hopefully my internet connection stays solid, because my computer keeps telling me your internet is unstable. I'm like, well, please hold out for a little longer.
Right when you said that, you froze.
Yeah, you sound like a robot as soon as you said that.
Yeah, Sprechen of the devil.
That timing was crazy.
Well, if it keeps breaking up, let me know. I might. I can always restart the router really quick and then have to end things. So let me know.
Okay.
So my week was like this. Okay, I'm just messing with you. But no, I just I've been still kind of lazy in the shop this last week. I just did a quick video for Wednesday. Not even the video that I intended to do. I was gonna post polishing a jasper or one of the obsidians that I don't have in my hand anymore. It's been shipped off to the other side of the states. But yeah, I was like, what? I'm gonna go ahead and do my green rock video, and it was fun. It was simple. It was easy, and it gives me time to get all my other videos edited, because I have several kind of on back order right now. Not really back order, but you know what I mean. It's in queue to be edited.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. Other than that, just kind of taking things easy and waiting for better weather and more time, because I'd actually would like to go out and rock hounding when it's not cruddy weather. But that was my week. Karen, how was your week?
A humdinger, but like Ezekiel, the chosen one.
The chosen one.
Chosen one.
It's never not crazy. And the Brit household was like just super crazy this past week. Of course, the weather's all over the place, and yet we haven't had any local washouts, and so the hounding is abysmal locally still, and it looks like that might be the season. Like we might close on a non, and so I'm a little again, you were talking about panic attack, and it's like I'm looking at the calendar going, this year might close without us having a season, and so that's okay. I'll just go ahead and dry up my tears and go out east, because there's plenty of rocks out, going the other direction in Oregon. And so anyways, that's kind of like a reality that's hitting, and lots of studio time, cutting, polishing, making jewelry, doing the sale over at the website. Inlay jewelry is something that I'm doing, and so I know that you've done inlay before, or something very akin to it, right, Jason?
Yeah, I did some inlay rings before, but only a couple. I've only dabbed in it a little bit. You're probably way more professional at it than I am.
Nah.
Your rings are awesome, though.
Yeah, I wear one like literally every day. I'm not working with rocks.
Yeah, it's such a, like, that was the makers last year, and yeah, so I did some inlays, and I was actually thinking of you. I was just like, wow, this is so much fun to do. I did a couple, and I'm like, I'm gonna do like 100 more, but not
It's
today.
a difficult process. Actually, I found it's very challenging. Trying to inlay stuff into a tiny little ring. It's like, yeah, it's stressful because if you only
totally.
get like one crack at it, really, right?
You pretty
Yeah,
much
pretty
do.
much.
Yeah.
I've never done one with metal. I've never done a metal inlay ring, but I've made a lot of wood inlay rings. Those are a lot of fun to make, but I feel like they're more forgiving just because wood's cheaper than
Ooh,
tungsten.
yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
using copper for mine, and instead of lathing it, I'm carving the like routing it out. And so it's like kind of like a river runs through it. It's all kind of like I hammer it first and then I like route it. And I mean, it's just a blast because, it's just so visceral. And then, yeah, you're grabbing the little, and there's like, blah, blah, and it's like, yeah. So at any rate, having a great time with that. And so cutting and polishing, trying to get the Petrified Wood video out. And so hopefully I will be able to jettison that this weekend. We will see. Hopefully you will see. And I'll notify everybody on my my channel. What's the little notification thing?
The community.
Community.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully you'll know. Yeah, those don't happen very often. And so that's pretty much. I was up all night last night, so I'm a rambling idiot. Right now, as you can see.
I am every day. So you're good.
Thank you. That's nice for you to like prepare the audience for anytime the rest of us have to stay up all night. But yeah, that was like something miraculous happened yesterday and today, but I will save it until probably next week to tell you all about that and show you what happened. Because I need to like recuperate. Like I'm still processing what's going on. So anyways, that's my long-winded week. So let's get on to something else.
So thank you everyone for sharing your weeks, and us people on the podcast. We know, but we just can't say yet. So it's just...
I'll give a spoiler that it involves rice.
In some way, it does.
In some way, yes.
It does. Really. So
I feel totally left out.
Oh, that's right. You don't know. Yeah.
We'll tell you as soon as we take a pause. But if you have guesses, you're welcome to leave them in the comments.
Only wrong answers. I've been doing that a lot on my channel. Like I've got like 4 videos in a row coming out where I keep doing that. I did it once and the results were hysterical. So
Nice.
it's got to just keep coming back.
Cool. Wrong answers only then.
But yeah, and it's so funny. I don't know how this rock forms. If someone knows in the comments, let me know. And if any of you don't know, give me all wrong answers.
Yeah.
How is this rock formed? A perfect storm of a kidney stone, and I produced it. Anyways, so Jason, let's talk about your amazing Maker's Challenge. And
was it amazing? I don't know.
It is amazing.
It was fantastic.
And delicious.
And nutritious.
The funny thing about that was like I knew after we finished last year's one, I knew exactly what I wanted to do for this year. So I had known for a year what I wanted to do. And I mean, I had the problem was I didn't have I knew I wanted to make a really big piece, and I didn't have the right rocks, the big enough for what I wanted to do. So I had to go out and rock hound for them, but I couldn't show them on the channel because I didn't want to give everything away. Right. So on rock hunts that we went on and we found some Z mags, I kept some of that stuff. So I also got my buddy Terry gave me a couple pieces that I used. The bottom layer here is one that he gave me. But these 2 are ones that I've collected. But yeah, it's it turned out. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It turned out pretty cool.
It's so sweet.
Yeah, and I didn't know how the icing was going to turn out. That was the biggest if for me, and it turned out
to be the icing on the cake.
Well, what happened was like really the thing that brought the glue, the thing that held it all together literally was that super thin adhesive glue I used. Without that stuff, I don't think I could have made it as good as it is because it just got right. It's got that capillary reaction. It gets right in there, and it that crushed dolomite just held it all together. If I had to put that on a little bit of layer and then put a bunch of glue on it, it just would have been a mess. But yeah, that's super that super thin stuff really worked, and that basically made the project, I think. So yeah, worked out well.
How long did it take you?
Mm.
The cutting took me the longest because I really pushed the limits of my high-tech diamond saw. I need to get like a bigger saw for sure. It just doing this project kind of made me realize that. But the pieces I was trying to cut on that saw, it was really not really, the saw was really not meant for that. But it got through it, but it was really challenging. You see me speed up the cutting in the video, but man, it was like hours, hours,
Wow.
you know, and yeah, I mean, everything else was okay. I took breaks in between. I mean, over the course, I think I started in February, you know, and got it done basically
That's smart.
a week before. So I mean, yeah, I remember I was talking to Taylor, Agate, the whole time we were making it. We didn't this time. Last year we told each other what our projects were. This year we were like, we said we weren't going to tell each other. So he was like dying to know what I was doing because I kept giving updates and like I was like, man, I've really hit a setback on my project, man. It's killing me. Like, and he was like, tell me what it is. Like, what it is? What do you think? And I was like, we were like, no, let's just keep it a secret. And yeah, it turned out it was good, better that way. I think I was super impressed with everyone's. Like, I thought the ideas on this one were really like top notch. Like, it was like so really good. Yeah, it was really fun to watch all the ideas and not know. Like, it was nice to have a surprise, you know, not knowing what people were doing, and yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was gonna say the surprise aspect was like one of my favorite parts because I think the first time, pretty much everyone told me what they were doing.
But you knew what I was doing the last time because I asked you what your ring size was.
Yeah. So the funny thing about that is you asked me like way before Maker's Challenge. So you asked me, I was like, it's like 9.5, 10, I think. I don't know. Let me look. So I sent it to you and then promptly forgot that ever happened. And then, you know, your video comes out and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what it's for. Okay. I forgot he asked for my ring size. But yeah, I didn't know what anyone was making this time. So last time I think I knew like 10 out of the 14 projects, and this time I went in just as blind as everybody else. Yeah, it's just so much fun not knowing what to expect.
And it's crazy that everyone did something different.
Yep.
Again, like there's no like
duplicates. Like not two people making a knife or whatever. Like I mean, what are the odds that everybody would choose a different project? It's kind of crazy.
That's the cool thing because like it's not even just talking about the Spring Makers Challenge. We talk about like all 3 Makers Challenges. There's never been 2 repeats. No one has repeated a project before.
Yeah, it's always in the back of my mind. Like, I was like, man, I'm really late in the week. Like, if someone does a piece of cake, that's going to be really crappy.
Oh, yeah, when you go last and it looks like you ripped somebody.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
That was actually really funny is last year when Taylor did the YouTube play button. I think it was around the time where I was waiting to get to 1,000 subscribers before I released my play button. And I'm like, I can't release it yet because that was gonna be what my project was, my the dinosaur bone play button. I'm like, it's fine. I'm like, I'll wait until I get to my milestone before I release that project. And I'm glad I did because, like, I don't know, his YouTube it's awesome. Like, it was big. I was kind of hoping that I was hoping that he was going to be making like a much bigger one, but then I saw like he was making something small as like a little teaser. I'm like, what are you doing? Like that's not a play button. Make a big one.
I just say the one he did this year, like to make 2 rocks identical with using lapidary skills, like the same weight. That's a serious skill. Like that's hard to do. Yeah, like I appreciate the technique that he used, right? Like it was impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we were talking about that during not last week, but the week before. Like that was that really stuck out. That like, dude, making them the exact same shape is one thing, but I mean, having them the exact same weight to the gram, like that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
pretty impressive. Yeah,
impressive.
That's. We should all try that and cut and polish 2 stones.
no, I don't think I'm gonna try that.
I hate doing that. Like, I hate making earrings just because they have to be, somewhat similar to each other. Like,
That's funny.
Keyword somewhat.
I asked Taylor. I said, Taylor, man, that's a really good idea. I'm gonna buy a pair of those. I could use a pair, or I want to make a pair of those. He's like, and he goes, don't make these. He's like, do not make these. It is way too hard. Do not make these. He was like literally screaming at me through the text. He's like, don't make these. He's like, go buy them.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like that you brought that up, because it's cheaper to buy something like that that's already been made by machines in like massive quantities than to make it yourself. Because looking at hours worth of work.
Yeah.
It's not worth it unless you find a way to produce them in bulk. Like it's like super easy. Yeah.
Not happening on the machines that we have. I was feeling for him hardcore. And when he first got started, I was like, I'm totally gonna make myself a pair. And by the end of the video, I'm like, I'm totally never doing that. Yeah, I caught the vibe.
I wonder if it'll almost be easier, like, because the sanding and polishing process is probably the hardest part to do. Just make them in bulk, do the rough shaping, and then just drop it in like in a vibratory tumbler.
I was gonna say a vibratory tumbler might be able to pull that off. I don't think a rotary would.
You'd be in danger of them not coming out not the same size though, or not weight. Right? Yeah.
Too much variable there.
Yeah.
Just drill some holes in there. Just put some lead in there and cover it back up. Okay, not lead. I'm sorry. Bismuth. It's just as heavy, but not as toxic. So
exactly, it's one of the few safe heavy metals.
That's why we drink it when we have upset tum tums.
Yes, I just bite my crystals. I just chew on my bismuth. Cut out the middleman,
bismuth salt licks, or just their bismuth licks. Yeah, okay, my tum feels better now.
Shark Tank idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Shark Tank. Okay, hear me out.
I'm not crazy, but I'm gonna have people sucking on heavy metals.
This is gonna be big. Yeah.
It's 99.99% pure. So, does anyone else have any questions for his Maker's Challenge cake? Was anyone?
I didn't have a question, but I had like a comment that I have so many of something that you used, and it was the way you used them was so genius to me. And I gotta say, sprinkles, the repurposing of those small, like too small to do anything with, like you got your, like, for me anyway, I've got like tiny little non-gem grade sapphires and rubies, and then I've got like tiny little garnets, little flecks of emerald, and it's like, what the heck am I ever going to do with these? Sprinkles, that's the answer.
Yeah, sprinkles.
Sprinkles. That's what.
Yeah, I had those from I remember I bought a bunch of remember when I did Maker's Challenge, I was saying, I'll make a bunch of rings, and I never ever did. And I had some ring making supplies, and some of that low grade gemstone stuff came with that. And I was like, what am I gonna do with all this now? And I was like, oh, I'm gonna make sprinkles. I'll use them as sprinkles because they're all like different colors, right? Like,
yeah,
it was like they were perfect, and they were all really already the perfect size. So the only thing I didn't use at the garnets, I actually had a garnet mica schist rock that was local here, and I had to break the garnets out of that one and break them up. That's the only thing I didn't have already. But I'm really happy with how it turned out. I mean, it's pretty cool. A lot of people come in and they look at it, like just family members or people that come into the house, and they look at it and they're like, what is that? they're like, why do you have a piece of cake just sitting on the tip? And then they come up to it closer and they look and they see it's a rock, and they're amazed at it, right? Like it's
so cool.
So it's pretty. Yeah, I am proud of it. I have to say, I'm like, I don't really consider myself an artistic person, so when I make something that's people appreciate and say, oh yeah, that actually looks like a piece of cake, then it's like, you can't help but be, proud a little bit. But
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
And
awesome.
you should absolutely be proud of that. That thing is sweet.
yeah, so
Yep.
it's gonna sit in the house. My wife doesn't like it, but
Yep.
you can deal with it.
Get
A
one
little
of
bit of
those.
a non sequitur for her decor.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Get one of those
You could
cake.
just get like some really, really expensive china to put in like a display cabinet, and then put your giant, probably
Just
very
stick that
heavy.
right there, centerpiece.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice decorative cake platter.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Glass top and everything.
How much does it weigh?
Wait, let's take guesses. I want to say 3 pounds.
I would guess 2 1/4.
I'm gonna go 2 because I was
Did I steal your
I have a
guess?
scale
Kinda.
right here.
Oh, he has a scale right there.
So,
Everyone in chat, place your bets.
Yeah, right.
place your bets, people. We're about to weigh this thing.
How handy.
All right, someone needs to
That
do the
wasn't
math,
planned,
though.
folks.
Someone needs to do the math. It's 151 grams.
151 grams.
Conversion.
I was gonna pull out my phone, but I'm using it for
The interwebs to find that out.
yeah.
Here, wait, I got it. I got that too.
So I got
It's 2.2, right? That's 2.2 kilograms per pound. So I got to multiply. All right. I'm an engineer. I can figure this out.
Thank goodness there's somebody here that.
Yeah, I'm just like, all right, guys, good luck.
All right. What did you guys say? What did you guys say?
I guess 3 pounds.
I guess 2 1/4.
I was on 2.
And the moment of truth.
Place your bets.
Wait a minute. I did that wrong. Sorry. You can edit this, right? Edit all my mistakes and.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's giving people in the chat time to argue about it.
Place your bets.
The bookies are loving it.
Times 2.2. It's not that heavy. I thought it was heavier than that. It's like 1.2 pounds.
Oh wow!
What?
Dang.
Yeah.
It
Not
looks
heavy.
so much heavier than that.
Wait, I guess you call that a pound cake.
It's not pound cake.
Oh, it's a pound cake.
Nice.
Oh man.
Oh.
That math right. People are gonna murder me in the comments if I didn't.
Yeah, you might want to double check that.
I'm double checking now.
We're gonna get flamed.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is time.
Yeah, weight's a funny thing.
Yeah, I was going off of like I don't know, if I was holding a Montana agate about that size, it would be over 2 pounds. That was what I
But
was.
the
just going off
icing
of.
slider.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
true.
Agates are like so dense and
Yeah,
heavy,
agates
you
are-
know? So
Especially
those
Montana
microcrystallines.
agates. Yeah, they're super super dense.
Yeah.
So, do you have any plans of making like a whole cake to fit that one slice?
Gonna go on a cake show.
Or make some ice cream to go with it?
Yeah.
What would you make the ice cream out of?
Well, it depends on the flavor, I guess.
Yeah. Could
Could
have
just
like
make more
a
white.
free chocolate chip.
Yeah. Yeah.
More sprinkles.
More sprinkles. I ran out of sprinkles. I think I used all my sprinkles. I don't think I have any sprinkles left.
That sucks.
That's quite a bit of sprinkling. that
It
you
was.
did.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, that was a generous
Yeah,
sprinkle.
I used a generous amount of sprinkles for sure.
Well,
That's why it's got to be center stage on that china plate, man.
Yeah, yeah. That, like, turn of the century, like $300 plate. Just put a big old rock in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Wife will love it.
Yep. Pretty much.
This lives in the center of the table, honey.
Do you already have an idea of what you're going to do next year?
Don't tell us.
Kind of, yeah, but I'm not going to tell you.
Okay.
You are farther than I am already.
I don't know. It's a little bit ambitious. I don't know if I'll be able to pull it off. So I'll have to brainstorm it a bit.
But that's the nature of the challenge,
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna say, yeah,
That's true.
the spring folks, you guys have it made because you guys know that like every time, like you got a year to prepare. So it's not like the fall one where Karen knows where it's like a month before, and I'm like, hey, so I got this thing. You want to be in it or spring folks? They're like, oh, they get it every year, and then still somehow manage to, like me anyway, change plans to the point where you're still doing last minute stuff, even though it's I've known for a year, but I still end up doing last minute.
Yeah,
for me anyway, because I get distracted with other stuff. It's like, oh, I got a year. I don't need to do that right now. And then 11 months later, you're like, crap, where did that year go?
I was in that same boat. It's okay. Which is funny because on Highway 34, there's a landscaping place, and that's kind of where I wanted to go to do like my next big project that's going to involve Pokemon. And I drove by, and like they were shut down. Like all the rock was gone. I'm like, where did it go?
Oh no!
They just moved down the road. They had like bought this old meat market and refurbished it and made it look all pretty, and now they're there instead. I'm like, oh, thank goodness! Like I need a place to get those rocks for that project, because it's not gonna be made out of agate or petrified wood or jasper or anything. It's literally gonna be made out of granite.
That's I know what you're talking about, and that's definitely the way to go.
Yep.
Yep.
Let's see here. So Jason, for Rockhounding, I had watched a video fairly recently where you guys were finding all these huge logs, and like there was one even that was coming out of the cliffside, but kind of still stuck in there. Bruh.
I love how you didn't even skip a beat.
So, all right. How much? Okay, what's the biggest piece that you can take off the beaches before like you're not really supposed to? Like, do you have like a weight limit over there?
You're not supposed to take anything off. So it's So it basically the rule in Nova Scotia is all the fossils belong to the government. So you're not really supposed to take any. However, I'm not going to leave something, because our tides are vicious. Like we have the highest tides in the world. So if I find something on the beach that I know is just going to be destroyed with the next tide, I take it. If it's something significant that I know is significant, like my tetrapod claw.
Yeah. The thing is so cool.
Yeah.
I'll mark the coordinate and I'll report it. Or I'll call the curator of our natural history museum. I know the guy, and I say, hey, look, I found this. I think it's this, and he'll say whether or not he agrees with me, and he says, yeah. I'll say, do you want me to bring it in? He'd be like, nah, keep it. And So you're not really supposed to, but I just can't. I'll show you in a show and tell later. I'll show you something I picked off the beach because I couldn't leave it there the other day. Nice.
Yeah.
The tail.
The tail. It's funny, cats, man. Like they just have to be the center of attention.
Yeah.
Well, not to distract.
My wife does a lot of puzzles, and like she'll be sitting doing like this 1,000-piece puzzle, and she'll have all the borders done, and my cat just comes up and she'll just flop right down on it.
Yeah.
Like, this is my space. I need attention right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Mine likes to lay on the computer when I edit, and then I get weird artifacts that I find later.
Yeah, not to distract, but he hasn't been feeling well.
Aww.
And sorry, buddy. He just hasn't been eating, and then last week he started eating again, and like, oh sweet, finally you're eating food again. Now he's back to not eating again. I'm like, bro, like, can you like at least eat your food? we kind of have an idea what's wrong with him, but like it's one of the things where like we can't do anything about it. Has something to do with his intestines, but he was eating just fine last week, and now he's just on a kick again. So either he's not feeling well or has like a weird hairball. I don't know. But so I'm sure after the podcast, I'm going to have to force feed a cat because, love. He doesn't
This
love
hurts
it.
me more than it hurts you. Yeah.
Anyways, Jason, you were saying before Tucker rudely interrupted us?
Oh, I just basically saying, like the fossils are the government's, but I'm guilty of trying to rescue them. I found a really on that same hunt in the video you're referring to, I found a really nice calamite fossil, and it was like perfectly preserved, perfect, like it had just come off the cliff face.
Oh wow!
And it was just sitting there, and the tide was coming in, but it was really big and heavy. So I walked away from it. Terry and I walked away from it. We're like, it's too big to take. And then I walked halfway down the beach, and I was like, no, I have to go back and get that. So I went back and got it, lugged it. Like this thing weighed. This was probably 50 pounds.
Oh, wow!
I'll show you here later in show and tell. But man, it was heavy, and I just carried that thing back to the car, and I said, I'm taking this home. So I mean, it's some people kind of frown upon you doing it, but I feel like I have a little bit more knowledge than most people, and I know I'm not going to take something that's significant and important and keep it for myself. I would absolutely turn it in, and I think it's a responsibility of people not to just leave stuff there to be lost.
Right, it becomes sand, literally.
Or to break. And it's if I can find a full round piece of petrified wood, the next tide could break it in half. It's like So I at least now me and the boys, we do take a lot of stuff. We put it at the high water mark, so we don't take everything. But we'll take everything up and we'll put it up at the high water mark so the tide doesn't hit it, and so people can enjoy them and stuff. So we do a lot of that, but we take the nice ones home for sure. I don't want to see them get destroyed or
totally.
Like that.
Yeah, it's rough because I feel like pretty much all over the world at different locations, like there's certain rules and regulations, and it does suck because for us hobbyists, like we're trying to help preserve the beauty that's there and the fossils or whatever might be there. But then you have people that ruin it for the rest of us and only collect to try to gain a profit, and it sucks. It's like,
and there's people that'll take hammers to the cliff face and just defacing it.
That's illegal here in Oregon.
It's so illegal here.
Illegal here too.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've actually seen people doing that on the beach, and
me too.
Some people just don't understand,
Just be like, hey, don't ruin this for the rest of us.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's one of the main reasons that the verts are so like fiercely protected in Montana, is because there unfortunately is a massive black market for like Deinonychus claws and T-Rex teeth and like Triceratops digits and stuff like that. So yeah, people go out and poach quite regularly.
Man.
Yeah, those people kind of ruined it for the rest of us. So
I mean, my rule of thumb is like, if we can pull it out if you can pull it out, it's fair game. But if you can't, if you have to take a hammer and like absolutely come onto the rock to get the thing out, no. Like because our tides, like they'll just beat the cliff face, right? And the like for our sea maggots, for example, like there's a sea maggot video where we were able to just take we were literally just pulling them off. Like the boys were just taking them and look at this and pull it right off. And it was going to fall off the next tide, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's we do that, but we don't like take a hammer and just start beating on the face. Like,
I feel like that's a different. Yeah. Forcibly removing and pulling out are two different things in my mind, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for anyone listening, don't ruin it for the rest of us, please. Okay. So I think we actually get into show and tell.
Yeah.
Jason, if you would do the honors and lead off the show and tell.
Okay. I'll show you that piece I was talking about. This is I call this is from like a, Theo likes to talk about death plates. I think this is like a flora death plate.
Oh,
nice.
Cool.
There's so many. I got two of them. One of them's super heavy. I don't even know if I can pick it up.
That's awesome.
This is that calamite I was talking about.
Oh, whoa.
Wow.
I don't know.
Whoa.
I'll take a picture, but it's the detail, like it's just totally perfectly preserved.
That's so
That's
great. You can see the
crazy.
sections.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
I'll take a picture and you guys can show it on the screen, but it should be way better.
So what epic are would that
This
be from?
This is Lake Carboniferous Pennsylvanian.
Okay.
Wow.
So
Imagine
it's
how big that was.
Yeah, that's what I was just picturing.
so the I don't know. Have you guys heard of the Joggins Fossil Cliffs here in Nova Scotia?
Mm-mm.
I have not. No.
No.
Not in the loop.
It's the UNESCO. It's a World UNESCO site, but they're famous because in the cliffs there's vertical trees still standing.
Oh,
in the cliff.
Wow.
So you can see them, and there's all kinds of different species, and calamites are one of them. You can see these. Some of them are like this big around.
Yeah.
Wow.
And one of the significant things they found at the bottom of some of the trees in the root systems, they found fossils of like the earliest tetrapods
Yes.
and like amphibians.
That's so
in there.
cool.
That's
That
cool.
is so cool.
And one of the they found an adult with its young, and it was one of the first scientific evidence of actual like parenting of their
Oh my
young.
gosh.
You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I think that the age of those ones are late. I think they're Pennsylvanian as well at Joggins, but yeah.
Oh, that is
Yeah,
so cool.
So this is the one I went back for.
I
Yeah.
can see why.
Good on
Couldn't
you.
leave it behind.
Yeah.
So I got that one, and it's got
Especially
there's
fossils
other
like that.
trace fossils in there, but
Yeah, I
not
was going to
cool.
ask if there was other
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, this one's not as great as the other one I'm booked on.
I mean,
Okay.
those things are so delicate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime in the water, and those things will start going down. And
Is that shale that it's
Sandstone.
Sandstone.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So this is a really big Florida death plate.
Wow.
Gosh, yeah, look at that. It looks
Look
like
at
a
that.
mountain bike
Massive.
tire. You know?
Well, This is Lepidodendron.
That's
Wow.
so big.
Then
That
there's
is
another
so
one there.
Yeah.
This is like a fern.
Oh yeah, like a
That
big
is so cool.
blade of the
Yeah.
wow.
I can absolutely see why you went back for that.
That's insane.
Yeah, this one was close to the car, so I tossed it in.
Just toss it in.
It's
No big deal.
So cool.
Oh, that's so neat.
Yeah,
So-
so I don't know what I'll do with it. I'll probably I might put it in the yard, just like in the garden or something, maybe.
Are you gonna
Yeah.
stabilize it?
I don't even know how to do that.
B-72. That would
I
be a
gotta
lot
watch
though.
some Man Lambo videos, I guess.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
Do it.
Stick it in a spray bottle and no,
You might
I
need a
guess
gallon
you'd have
of
to
it.
brush it on. Yeah.
Yeah, I might do that. I might look at doing something like that. Maybe I won't put it outside. I don't want the weather or anything.
Build
Yeah,
it.
that is just so
Probably
cool.
keep it inside.
You can always build a shelf there in your
It
rock
could be
shop
next
there.
to your cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the china cabinet.
Yeah, exactly.
You got a new designer.
Get another plate to put that on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my show and tell.
Oh, that is so exceptional.
Oh, thank you for showing those. Those are awesome.
Bravo.
Those things are amazing, and yeah,
I
I
want to see
can
more.
300% understand why you'd want to take the. I mean, the sandstone alone, but like plant fossils especially, like pretty much universally, they're so delicate. Like anytime in saltwater, those they're not going to last long.
Yeah, and those, just to show you those trees, Kyle. So I collected this one years ago, before there was even a ban on collecting fossils. But this is one.
Wow.
Whoa!
This is one of the chordates. It's like so the white.
Wow!
So the white is barite, and it's gone through extreme coalification. It's basically
That's so cool.
like coal.
So it won't necessarily take a polish then.
It won't take a polish, but
That's always the first question.
Kyle's like, so it won't take a polish then.
All right.
No, but here's what you can do with them. You can still cut them. This one's way too big to cut, but I got smaller ones. You can cut them and put epoxy on them, and they look amazing. Like I'll show you one that I epoxy here.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, because I've seen some of those TikToks where like the people work in the coal mines, and they're actually finding like these huge tree trunks just underneath the ground where they're working.
Yeah.
Like, man, it'd be so cool if those would take a polish, because like they're just massive like tree rounds and they're intact pieces of trees.
They don't take a polish, and most of them they've gone through the coalification process, so they're like heavily like there's carbon all through them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But these ones have been cast with barite all through them, and so this one here I epoxied. So this one's.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
that is very cool.
I'll send a picture of that one too.
That looks awesome.
So the epoxy actually does a really good job.
Epoxy works great.
Yeah, on the stuff that you can't get a good shine on, it just really does a good job.
It really does.
Yeah.
I've even used a really thin epoxy and a vacuum chamber, because with some more porous stuff, I've used this to work on certain types of sandstone before. It like soaks in the resin, and then you can actually start grinding on it, and it'll take a polish after that because it's been so much resin has absorbed it. Works really.
And if you can heat it, if you heat it right, just right, like it'll fill in the cracks and the fractures. If you have something really fractured, it'll make it look really good. Like this piece here, I think I showed this in the video, but my buddy Terry's really good at it. And this piece here this is a piece of sea maggot we found here in Nova Scotia, but it was so fractured up, like fractures all through it. It was like we were kind of saddened.
Yeah.
But he went and epoxied it, and there's no fractures in that now at all, and you just see so many cool details.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's so cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I love epoxy.
Like there's all this glossy stuff going on up here. There's like little flame going here. I'll send a picture of that one too. I got too many stuff. Too much.
No, keep it coming.
No such thing as too many rocks.
Right?
I'll stop. Well, wait, one more thing.
No. Yeah.
One more thing. There's one more.
A few times.
So just on the same beach where we found all that Pennsylvanian stuff, this is a stromatolite.
Oh, really?
I love stromatolites.
So I'm going to cut it's kind of worn on the outside here, so you don't see the banding that well, but you can tell it's got wicked banding in it. So I'm going to cut this one and polish it, I think.
Yeah,
absolutely. You should. I love stromatolites. They're crazy.
Is there color? Did it like
mineralize the
color?
one, this one's, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. But this one does have some color. It's got like some white and some pink in it.
Ooh.
But
is there a signature to your area as far as the stromatolites go? Because you know how like that color of brown and ochre comes from Mexico. You know what I mean? Like they have the regional.
Yeah, I mean, they come in different colors that I've seen here. I've seen ones that are like kind of reddish and brown, and I don't think there's a set color to it. It's sandstone, right? So it's like it's just that the layers have been built up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you could tell the color, but
not really.
That I can see a little bit of it, but it's
my laptop camera's not great, but
Zoom is really brutal on.
Yeah, it is.
Fine detail.
It's white, pink, and black, basically the colors I see.
You have to cut that. That's gonna be so nice.
I want to see when it's cut.
But this one was like there was stromatolites there, full attack ones the size of a car.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, like they were coming out of the cliffs, and they're huge. Some of them were giant. Couldn't believe how big they were. And then you got small ones like that you could hold, right?
Yeah, I love stromatolites. They're so fun to work with too.
I haven't had a chance to work with it yet, but I'm enamored.
We actually have
I don't know if
Montana, but sorry.
If you could get them, I think there's I don't know much about stromatolites, to be honest. I don't know. Well, I know they're one of the oldest organisms on Earth, but I've just started looking into how they form those layers. And I guess it happens over a long period of time, eh? Like,
yeah, they're pretty much fossilized algal mats, like bacterial algal mats. So yeah, it's like many years that build up, and they still live in Australia.
Yeah. I heard, they're still there.
It's just cool holding a fossil in your hand that is billions with a B years old.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's just crazy.
Billions.
Billions.
Ours have really nice bands, but it's pretty much 50 Shades of Brown.
Yeah.
Like, they're not exactly exciting, but yeah, they're the really nice bands. It makes it worth it, and just it's a cool, really ancient fossil, so they're just fun to find. You don't see them too often, but we have a fair amount of them in certain parts of Montana.
Montana, the fossil state. Well, that in Florida
pretty much is. Yeah, Florida too. But there's the reason for that, and the reason for Florida is that there is a metamorphic / igneous layer underneath Florida, but it's underneath like a gigantic swath of limestone beds. So you won't find anything like quartzy or agate or anything like that, because it's way further down than what's actually exposable in Florida. So it's pretty much a state that sits on top of like endless fossil beds.
I think it's a good trade-off.
It is, yeah. No, it is. I was actually talking to Derek about that, because I was trying to, just the concept of a state with no quartz threw me off. And he's like, well, we have quartz. It's just like 100 feet down.
Start digging.
Like, oh, okay. That makes sense.
Well, thank you, Jason, for your awesome show and tells.
Yeah, that was
No problem.
really good.
Yeah, those are super cool.
Karen, what do you got?
Well, I decided to bring one of the, like, a completely random thing. I was working on the Petrified Woods, and that problem that happens when you go through your piles and you're like, and oh, look it over there, there's a butterfly.
Yeah.
There's a puppy. And I like came across some material that a long time ago, as we're talking about geology here and everything, the southern part of Oregon and Idaho had traveled on the Pacific Plate over the Yellowstone hotspot. And so you've got all of the fireworks and the geothermal stuff going on that's associated with that. And so thunder eggs and sea maggot, the plume agates like at Graveyard Point. And you have these really interesting agate nodules in the Owyhee. And so we happened upon a great plethora of these fantastic nodules. And I had smashed some of them with a sledgehammer because I was interested in what was going on inside. I know, don't do that, Karen. And I smashed a few of them, and I was like, these are really pretty. I should not smash them. I should wait to cut them with a saw. And I put them away from myself where I could not see them, so that my hot little fingers wouldn't get ruin them. And so I forgot about them. And then I came across them recently. And so I thought, okay, I'm supposed to be doing my Petrified Wood video right now, but I have to put this through the saw right now. And so I buzzed through. It looked like on the outside, when you're rock hounding these, they literally look like fried pastries or something. I mean, there's nothing about it that says like, I'm beautiful inside. It just like looks like something that's pre-chewed and spit out. And yet, you can see it like backlit a little bit with the right kind of sun or something. Usually these are very, very dusty unless you are on like a riverside or something like that. And so, I mean, you really don't know what you're looking at. And so cut this one open, and sure enough, it's got like strawberry banana filling, a little bit of blueberry. I mean, it like had shades of like almost kind of like a lavenderish blue that like traveled into the pinkish, and the patterns inside, it's almost like jello moldy. Like they're, instead of having plumes, the crystalline action of the different minerals was like growing like you see in graveyard. They're more like spotty and flowery. And so like the closer, the closer you get, like the more interesting, like, you know, you pan out and it's kind of like oatmeal in the morning, like with some fruit. But like the closer you get, like the more appealing. And so I like things like that, you know, like a painting where you can see it far away and it's beautiful. But then the closer you get, like the more appealing, and you know, like you're drawn in and drawn in and drawn in. And so I cut this guy open and I was like, ooh, cut it again, you know. And so I like wasted you know, hours of what I was supposed to be like doing the Petrified Wood video, but you know,
I've never done that.
Yeah. Has anybody ever had a tangent that like took like a day out of your time? Anyways, so I just thought I'd share that. There's going to be more of those to come for sure. I've got a fabulous pile that, like, do you guys do this too? Like, you literally forget about some of the material you collected?
Always.
Yeah, I think that's why I you know, take so much time between my shop cleans, because as I'm cleaning, I'm like, oh, there's that Botswana agate I bought specifically to do something with, and then set in a spot where I'd remember it and forgot about it. I'm gonna cut this right now, and then that's why it takes me 2 weeks to like deep clean the shop, because that happens at least 100 times. Oh, that moldavite I bought, I'm gonna fasten it real quick.
Fasten. Yeah. You're gonna do a totally complex fasten on this really quick.
Yeah, just real quick.
Between cleanings. Yeah. So that's it. That's my shows and tells.
Well, thank you for your show and tell. Well, Kurt made it in from his nice little hike. And so, Kurt, will probably want to share your little story after Theo's show and tell really quick. And then, do you have show and tell too, by chance?
I can have. It's right here.
Okay.
So,
we'll get to you in a minute. But welcome back. Sorry, I'm late. Okay, Theo.
Okay. I have something new this week. Crazy lamp that just so happened to be on my That's not my show and tell. What it will provide me with is good light, so I can actually show these adequately. So, actually, that might have made it worse. It might be just shaded.
No gadgetry and
oh gosh, that's right. It's like a super old lamp, and I think it has a halogen inside of it, so it's like the totally wrong kind of light.
Your face up.
It did. It made my face bright. I don't know if. Well, here, let's test. Did it help? Oh, it does help. Okay, yeah, never mind. It helps. It's just it only throws light in very like specific directions, so I don't know if it was working or not. So our good friend Montana Rock Mom went on a trip to South Dakota, where she did, or South Dakota. Sorry, I have South Dakota on the mind. I want to go to the Black Hills, clearly. New Mexico, which is not South Dakota, where she was hunting for some stuff, and she brought me back a bunch of agates, but she also brought me something that she got to hunt for that she knows that I love. And that is fluorite, and she got to go hunt for blue fluorite.
Oh my
goodness. Nice.
What a nice specimens.
Beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful.
And she like actually parted with that?
Yes, she did. Dude, I've said this hundreds of times, but everyone needs a Montana Rock Mom in their life. Kim is awesome. She brings me rocks.
Tell you, she sent me some Montana Petrified Wood that I would never have ever parted with.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
That's
the
just
stuff
Kim,
she sent
dude.
me.
She brings me a care package like every 2 or 3 weeks, and just Kim's awesome. Kim, if you're watching this, we all love you. You're amazing. Anyway,
come on the show.
Yeah, come on the show.
Come on the show, definitely.
So she brought me this insane piece of blue fluorite, and it's got calcite inclusions. If you look, I don't know, I might show in the video. Some of the crystals have a film of white calcite. There's actually galena inside of it.
Okay.
Perfect galena crystals, and then on the back side, it's like straight up just druzy coated.
What?
That's
And
beautiful.
it's way too small to show, but in this, right, there's a few right in here, and there's a few in here. They're perfect green apatite crystals.
Oh, nice.
Mm.
No, there aren't.
Yeah, she showed me, and I was
Beautiful
like, "Oh
combination.
my gosh, that's apatite!" And she's like, "Oh, cool. Yeah, you can have it still." I was like, "Awesome, score!" But she also gave me a bunch of flame agate and cathedral agate that she was hunting for out in the desert out there. So I'm going to be doing a cutting video, including a bunch of that stuff. But I just had to
Wow.
bring this. This specimen is just crazy.
That
is-
is that limestone matrix?
I think so. I'm actually not
Yeah.
sure, but yeah, I think it is limestone. She said she was all she was doing was surface collecting.
That's
What? That was just
Wow.
lying about.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, I need to go to New Mexico.
Yeah. Coordinates, please.
Yeah, seriously. I can't, and I know the zoom is not going to show it well. I think the pictures I sent show it better, but the blue in these things is just
If
absolutely
you move
insane.
it faster, we could probably see it better.
Just like just trying to get it to blur. Look at the blue.
Yeah.
I can't see it.
Well, I don't know if you guys know that I actually work I'm a mining engineer. And I work in a lead zinc mine,
Ooh,
and we have that mineral assemblage you just showed.
yeah.
It's very, very popular: galena, calcite, fluorite, and we have kind of similar stuff, but nothing as gorgeous as that. But we have like purple fluorite with
Cool.
galena and calcite, so it's interesting to see that coming
Wow.
from New Mexico. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that is super cool. Like totally different like landscapes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Similar formations though. And I was really excited just because you see green and purple fluorites more often than other colors. I was just the blue just caught me off guard completely. Like I would trade a child if I had any to go hunt for blue fluorite.
I think blue's super rare.
Yeah.
Like
and
it's
she
like
said, yeah,
ultra
she's like,
rare.
this it was just all over. There wasn't any
Yeah.
other colors. It was all blue fluorite. And I'm like, I need to go to New Mexico.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then one of my other show and tells was actually from I hunt last week with Kate. That video comes out on Saturday. We were actually supposed to go out on a boat, and our plans fell through. But we were like, well, we've already got the time planned out. Let's just go rock on it anyway. You know, why not? So we went out way to the eastern side of Montana, which has some of the most phenomenal petrified and agatized wood in the state. Like it's just insane. Really, really nice. Highly, I believe the term I used in the video was silicimitated wood. Highly silicimitated.
What?
That's quite the $1.50 word you got there.
Yeah, exactly.
That should be the name of your channel next podcast.
That was good.
Silicimitated wood.
Yeah.
Or I said the wood was soliciting, I think is what I said at one point.
Ah.
I don't know if I don't remember if that made it into the edit or not.
You might get a ticket for that. Yeah.
Yeah. But so yeah, I know I said this in the video. It's one of those areas you go and you know it's a good day if you find a rock and you don't know if you're holding an agate or a piece of wood. Like that's just a good day. And then you hold it up to the light and it's like always a good day when you have a piece of wood that glows like an agate. But it doesn't stop there. There's something else in that area that you don't find as often, but you do still find it, and that is wood that is completely replaced by jasper.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That is an orange jasper piece of agatized wood. And I got my little
Nice.
cup of water right here because it has some of the light. I'm trying to work with my giant freaking lamp. Oh gosh, it's too bright. Well, the pictures in the videos will show it better, but there's a huge pocket of like plumy stuff and chalcedony. There's even
Nice.
quartz crystals in here. Like it's so nice. The pictures will do it better justice than Zoom will. But yeah, that thing is gorgeous. And then on Tuesday when we went out, I'm sure if you watch my channel, you've heard me mention TSAs many times. TSA stands for Treasure State Agate, which, speaking of South Dakota, we call them that because South Dakota, and I'm not joking, got mad at us for calling agates Montana Fairburns. They're like, no, those are our rocks. You can pick a different name. So now we call them Treasure State Agates. I don't know if they're like a real classification or if it's more of a Montana slang thing. Really, it's just any opaque fortification agate that you find along the Yellowstone specifically. And Alexis found the nicest TSA I've ever seen in my life. It's crazy. Sorry, I'm getting wet. It's too big to fit in my cup because I didn't plan. I didn't plan accordingly. Come on, soak in. Get wet faster, sir.
Lube it up.
Lubing it up.
Those were wise words from last week.
Yeah. It's insane. But it's just, you know what? I'm gonna test
Whoa, what?
I hope you're gonna polish that because
It's crazy.
Because that'll take a polish.
it will absolutely take a polish, and it's just coated in fortification pockets like across the
That's
entire
amazing.
thing.
that's awesome.
It literally looks like a Fairburn agate. I know I keep saying that, but sorry, South Dakota. It looks like a Fairburn.
South
one more
Dakota is
time.
watching and is pissed.
The state of South Dakota.
Yeah.
The state of
But,
South
yeah.
Dakota's energy.
You're gonna be banned. Your podcast is gonna be banned in that state now.
Right.
South Dakota.
In all states of the union except for South Dakota.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I've never seen one this size with this much fortifications. The video will show it better, but I mean, it's like, because you've got your big pockets right here that you can really visibly see on Zoom, but in between those bigger pockets is just like so many little pockets of fortification. The thing is just covered. And
Wow.
yeah, I'm really seriously debating on if I should just mineral oil it and leave it at wow, that was mineral oil it. If I should mineral oil it, there we go, and leave it as a specimen, or if I should just polish the whole thing,
I
Polish.
polish the entire thing.
Polish.
because
Yeah.
it's crazy. I've never seen a TSA like
We
that.
have
It's
spoken.
crazy now, crazy beautiful later.
It'll be, yeah, it'd be nuts with polish.
Chris the salesman. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
the marketing manager over there.
I'd love to give a date on when that video will come out, because we got into freaking insane stuff that day. Like, seriously, if that was the last day I could get on the Yellowstone before runoff, I'm fine with it. We got amazing agates, amazing petrified wood, and way more fossils than I was expecting, plus this thing. But I don't know. I'm like 8 videos backlogged at the moment, so I have no idea when that video is coming out. I'll give you updates in time.
Well, everybody's
those-
going to be waiting with bated breath.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, those are my 3 for this week.
Well, thank you for your show and tell.
Awesome.
Now we can go to Gert. What you got?
Gert!
Oh, okay. So, well, I haven't really been doing much at all, really, except for wire wrapping. So I'll just do some 2 wire wraps that I did recently. I'll send you videos of them later. But there's this one right here. Wait. There we go.
You were doing that thing I was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, faster.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Mhm.
So this is a Oregon Plume agate that I got from a rock trade a while back. And I cut and polished it, and it's a double-sided pendant.
Beautiful.
So that's the first one that I did
Nice.
a day or 2 ago. And the second one, I made this not fire obsidian. Jeez, Kyle.
He's taking over your brain.
Fire
Get out of my head.
fire labradorite cab. So it has a really nice
Ooh.
orange flash to it. If I can
Nice.
get the light to flash.
Oh, you got it. It was
Okay.
flashing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was today I was working on this wire wrap. When that's the, I don't know if the camera's focusing on it, but whenever it's in there, it'll look like
Oh wow, that's a neat.
That's
That's
cool.
setting that you're
That'll-
making there.
We
Mm.
need to give that.
it'll be one-sided.
Yeah, that's going to
So-
be really nice.
We need to give
Yes.
that labradorite. It's Jerry beads.
That's what?
It's Jerry beads. It has a nice flash.
Oh,
Mardi Gras
gotcha.
beads. Anyone?
Ah, I know there was like a little bit of cricket action going on.
I was like, I'm not there with you this time. I don't know what
You should edit in the cricket sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably should. That was bad. Oh,
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to leave you out to dry like that.
that that wire wrapping it's like crazy to see it in mid wrap, I guess, just because I would be so stressed out by that.
It's super stressful at first, but then like after you start doing it a couple times, it gets a lot easier.
Yeah, because
I could never imagine doing that. I can't imagine being able to do that.
Yeah, your wraps blow my mind. I'm really good at trees, and that's it. Like wrapping cabochons is a ballpark I haven't dipped my toes too deep into yet.
Wow, you dip toes into ballparks?
I do.
Is that what we do at ballparks?
That's the only place I dip my toes.
Hey, he's the chosen one.
I know,
chosen
like,
one.
who am I? Question.
Well, Kurt, was that it for your show and tell?
Yeah. That's all I got.
Can we slap up a picture of your beautiful view that you got to enjoy this weekend or this evening?
Sure. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I kind of had to think about it.
It was a good hike. We went out today and decided it was so beautiful. Let's go ahead and let's just go on a quick hike. And that hike turned into a 4-5 hour hike.
Wow.
So got some beautiful views, and it was a fire memorial trail between Glenwood and Newcastle out in western Colorado, of a place where hotspot fire team from Oregon lost their lives back in 1994.
Yeah.
So we got to check that out a little bit. We're gonna finish the trail later on when we have more time, because it was a pretty good hike going up, but coming down was a lot quicker. So
and it looks so green in the picture.
Yeah.
It's green with red mountains. It's beautiful.
Yeah. At least you got to get out.
Yeah. We've been looking through the rainy window panes. Like,
it'd be nice to go rock hounding, but it was everything up there was just straight sandstone. I'm Theo right now. Sandstone and quartzite. So there wasn't really much to look for as far as on the ground, but beautiful. The view was more beautiful. It's very beautiful.
That's all that matters.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Well, thank you for your show and tell, and also sharing the amazing view that you got to see that we didn't, because rain. And thank you, the rest of you, for all your show and tells. And now it's time for my show and tell, which I don't know if I shared this last time or not. I'm a little fuzzy on it, but the last time I did, I went to the rock show. I bought several specimens of different rocks. Well, I know I mentioned before I bought a couple slabs of Polyhedroid Agates, and they weren't. They were.
Love that stuff.
They weren't super cheap, but they were really cool.
Yeah, I love that
incredible
stuff.
And
beautiful.
They actually polished both. Oh, I almost dropped it.
Don't do that.
But yeah, they polished both sides. Like, oh, hey, thanks for saving me the time. But to try to buy this stuff rough and trying to find a shop that sells it is really hard and it's super expensive.
I've never been able to actually find somewhere where I can find raw Polyhedron agates. It's so expensive too.
Yeah, oh gosh, I think it was like a 20-pound chunk I happened to find a shop online, and I'm sure it's probably sold by now, but it was like $600.
Yeah, I don't doubt that at all.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I would love to, but
it's so cool.
Yeah, I couldn't justify spending like that kind of money on a rough stone. And then I also got another one here.
Ooh,
that's cool.
Likey that one.
Yeah, that stuff, it's so cool. I saw it while searching the Googles a while back. It's been on my bucket list for a while now.
So, yeah, that's kind of my show. I mean, I have 4 pieces of Polyhedroid agate now. So I have these 2 slabs. And I know I showed these ones before in the past, but I can't help it. Like, this stuff is so unique. I just love the shape of it. The fact, this forms naturally, and I'm pretty sure like this is a replacement of a mineral that is like the void of a different mineral that had like built up and then eroded away, and then of course the silicate came in and replaced it. But it's just so cool.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
That makes sense because how else would you get perfectly symmetrical sides like that? You know,
Yeah.
right?
And I've seen because here at the Rice Museum here in Oregon, there's actually this like large display of the Polyhedroid Agates, and that's how I saw these. I'm like, oh man, I'd love to have my own. But they actually have like larger specimens where it's like a multitude of these agates that have formed in like the voids that were left behind. So it's almost, it looks like a puzzle piece that's all been like stayed together. And I'm like, oh man, I would love to have like a big specimen of like yeah, it'd just be cool. But you know, zoom in on my empty wallet. But yeah, that was my show and tell.
Beautiful.
And
Thank you, Kyle.
Those are beautiful.
You're welcome. But now we get into words of wisdom. We'll go ahead and start with Jason.
Words of wisdom. Oh man, put me on the spot.
Ta-da.
Well, I mean, I'll from experience lately, you know, my words of wisdom would be if you're feeling like if the weather's bad, but you're feeling kind of blah and you don't want to go out and rockhound, go out anyway. Reason why I say that is because you know some of our best days have been the days where we've just like, okay, we plan to go out and we're like, okay, do you want to go out, Nolan? He's like, not really. I was like, well, let's just go. You know, just get out of the house. You know, we don't feel like going, but we go, and it's like some of our best days, right? So it's like, just if you have to kick yourself in the butt, kick yourself in the butt. Get out. You never know. It could end up being. You could end up finding the find of your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
never know. You won't find it unless you go out. So that's kind of my words of wisdom.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'd agree with that too. Some of my impromptu hunts are like the best.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that, Karen. What do you got?
All right. Well, I was high centered on fixing tools last week, and that's why I provided the words of wisdom from
That
last
will go
week.
down in the books as legendary.
So as a minor extension, there's a specific thing that you can use if you're a Dremel person or if you're a jewelry maker, somebody who's even just drilling into their stones to make a hole, like you're gonna make those little eye thingies that were so cool in the Makers Challenge. So this is really a shaggy label, and you probably won't be able to see it, but this is Burr Life. And if you're not using it, you need this in your life.
Yeah, I really need to get
You
some
need
of that
this
stuff.
in your life. So I run through Burrs, and this is not a commercial. This is like, these are words of wisdom. I have no affiliation at all. But if you use a rotary tool, you probably have been in the position where you will rub all of the diamond off of the metal. You know, even sintered stuff has the tendency, you know, to go away, and it's going to be right in the middle of you like needing to drill a hole or
Every time.
Right.
Pretty much.
And this like I had heard from, you know, on the grapevine of other people like, yeah, you totally have to. And I've been routing through copper making the inlay, and I'm like, and I'm routing again, and I'm routing, and there's still diamonds on my, you know, tools, because I'm using something that is preserving the diamonds on the tool and making them cut without taking them away and leaving them in the copper. Or the silver or the agate or whatever it is that you're trying to dig through. And if somebody hadn't like tipped me on this, then I probably would be into burrs, like buying the, you know, different heads, like hundreds of dollars by now. And, you know, this is cheap. It's like wax with some lotion in it or something like that. I don't know how they make it, but you know, it's another lubricant, folks. Anyways, get you some Burr Life and save them burrs.
Lube your
Moisturizer
tips.
for your tools.
Yeah, lube your tips. I wasn't gonna say it. Yeah. You know, the pointy ones and the balls and all those things.
He's starting to think again.
Oh. Anyway, thank you, Karen. Kurt?
Huh?
Words of wisdom.
So let's see. So when you're going on a hike or a unexpected hike, make sure to take some extra water because you never know how far you're gonna go out there. 30-minute hike could turn into a 4-hour hike. So just take extra water and a couple of snacks, and you'll be better off.
And if you don't know what snacks to bring, you need to watch Kurt's snack video, which made me kind of hungry, actually. It was a good one. Like, I need a snack right now.
So, thank you, Kurt. Ezekiel, the chosen one.
I know I choose these names every time, but I can't help but laugh every time you guys are like, okay, Ezekiel. It's like, that's me. Sorry. My words of wisdom would kind of tie into my last like 5 rock hunts. But it applies to more than just that. I'm going to be referencing my rock hunt specifically, but you can really apply this to anything in your life. That's leave no stone unturned. And the reason I say that applies to my hunts is because it's very late in the season, which means all of the easy finds are long gone. So we're hunting in the silt right now, and it's slow going because you have to flip all of those dirty rocks to see what else is actually left out there.
Flipping dirty rocks.
Flipping dirty rocks. But there's some really, really nice rocks out there still. You just have to work harder for it. But I mean, again, that it applies to way more than just rock hunting. So yeah, just leave no stone unturned.
Good advice. Thank you, Ezekiel.
Yes.
What's your name? Tony.
I love that video so much.
Me too. Like every time like I listen to it, like we have to laugh because it's
I know.
funny.
It never gets old. It really doesn't.
Of course, we can't repeat a lot of it.
Yeah, I can't quote it here, but
oh gosh, which word? I've been like unprepared for words of wisdom like the last couple of weeks. Like it's always been like
too.
This is on a whim. You know, I think so. We're kind of like in a weird time where like there's a lot of jobs that are still out there, just because we're kind of still in that weird. We're not really in the pandemic, but we kind of are still because people are not really working and there's a lot of job opportunities. I've always been one to, I strongly dislike having to apply for places online. I've always been raised to, if you're applying for a job or if you're looking for a job, you go in person first thing in the morning, you are dressed ready to work, and you are professional and like introduce yourself and stuff like that. I feel like that's being lost. I feel like everything is online nowadays, phone interviews, Zoom interviews. I think we should normalize again showing up in person, showing that you are willing to work right there and be ready to work. I don't know. That's just, I don't like how I'm old school, but that's how I was trained, like growing up, like, show up in person. That way they can see who is applying for the job. And if you apply for a job, you bug the heck out of them until you get that job. That's actually how I got a lot of my jobs in my younger years. I would apply in person. I would show up or call every other day just to say, hey, just stopping in, check out things, see how things are going. So they can see.
Just forget about me.
Yeah, so they can see that you're putting the effort to really put yourself out there and that you're interested. Again, I just feel like this is starting to become a lost thing, and I think we should normalize it. So if you are out there, if you're looking for a job, practice those techniques. If they say, hey, don't call us, we'll call you, still make an effort to put yourself out there and show that you are interested in that job. So that's my words of wisdom.
Nice.
It's interesting you say that because I mean, like, it's COVID has like changed the world so much now, and I mean, like, there's people colleagues that I have like in the government and things. Even they now are still working from home, and because their employers have seen that they can function just as adequately as being in the office. Now, maybe different businesses would be different, like Kyle, what you said, like some businesses would be more personal and, the personal face would be more important. But, like there's a lot of offices now or a lot of companies shutting down their offices and having their employees work from home, and that's just going to be the normal from now on, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting how COVID's changed the world, really.
Yeah, it really is. That's it. That's the case for my brother-in-law. He just works from home now because they're like, wait, I guess we don't need you to come into the office to sit in a cubicle when you can do the exact same thing at home.
Yeah. And imagine
much
how much money
cheaper.
companies are going to save doing that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
the offices, they don't have leases or anymore. Like, it's
Yeah,
like,
it's
hey,
crazy.
It's like, hey man, do you have a printer? Do you have a computer? Awesome.
All right. Yeah, they just sent him another computer monitor so he could have 2 monitors. He's like, yeah, you just work from home. It's fine.
Yeah, and worst case scenario, if you do come across a company that's hiring, but they don't do any physical interviews, still bug them every other day until you get that job.
Yes.
Follow up, and first thing in the morning, I'm like, hey, good morning. My name is so and so. Just following up on my application I submitted online. Just make sure you received it. Because I know there's a fair amount of people out there that are wanting jobs, and it's important to make yourself known. And it's actually pretty easy. It may not seem like it. I know there's people out there that have applied to like 60 places and like never heard back or got an interview. Be persistent. Just make yourself known until they tell you to stop. Just leave me alone.
Yep.
I tell you too, now's a good time to do that because I hire people from time to time, and recently I hired somebody, and I hired them because of that exact thing, because they were constantly following up, and they were interested in the position, and it's really competitive out now. I don't know about the United States, but in Canada it's very competitive right now. It's hard to find people. And when you see when someone's coming to you saying, I want to work for your company, that's a big, huge plus, right? Like, so it's
absolutely. My Alexis works at Ace Hardware. She's an assistant manager, and they are having such a hard time holding on to people right now, just because people don't want to work.
Yeah, it's still a hard time. So in due time, hopefully things just kind of smooth out. But I think that concludes our words of wisdom. Karen, if you would be so kind to take us out.
Absolutely. But first, Jason, thank you so much for coming on the show. And it's going to have to be way sooner when you come back on again, because for one thing, I want to see your fluorite and stuff.
Yes.
I'll have to dig through some boxes. I wasn't prepared tonight, but
well, there we go. Then it'll be for the next time that you come on. Do you have any other social media where people can find you, like on Instagram or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, the only other thing, we do Instagram. It's our handles at Rockhounding.Life. People can find us there. We post, maybe once a week or so. Just, usually just follows up with our YouTube channel, but that's pretty much the only other place we are.
Right on.
Yeah.
So go check that out, and I can't wait to go watch your video that you just put out, because that's going to be awesome. And meanwhile, thank you guys all for watching and making it all the way to the end. And if you want to get a little bit more podcasts through the rest of the week, hit us up on our email, which is in the description, and you can join us on the Discord, where we have the show and tell, and we also have conversations that are ongoing about everything that is in our genre, but also we have random. So like, you want to just come hang out, and you can share your pictures and stuff like that. In addition to that, we are compiling our next viewer show and tell, and I think we're getting stacked up. So that should be coming up really soon. Send us your pictures and some descriptions over to the email, and you too can be a star of the next show. That being said, we would love for you to get out there and find some gorgeous stuff, and we'll see you next week. Rock on.
Rock on. Yo.